What's going on, Star Citizens? This is 22B Maverick here for another round of Star Citizen. Now, this is the 3.0, so keep that in mind when we're playing this. There has been a lot of changes. Some of these I'm going to highlight to you. Today I'm going to be using the Freelancer to do a cargo run. Real quick, I just want to show you what my ship loadout is currently. So currently what I have not upgraded the cooling system nor the shields. That's my next step on this. I'm kind of reluctant right now to update stuff because I just bought a power plant. Obviously it's gone. And also what I do have left is my overdrive system, which that's not going to show you what that is here. But I do have some upgraded missiles for the Freelancer. I got the Thunderbolt 3. It comes standard with the Arrestor 3. I have an Ignite on each side, Strike Force 2 on each side. Strike Force 2s are size 2. The Arrestor 3 is size 3. I have a Dominator 2. Then also the Tarantula GT870 Mark IIIs, which come standard on this vehicle. Also, real quick, I'm going to show you my character loadout. I prefer to go with the ADP MK4 Heavy, the Devastator Energy Shotgun, and then also the Gallant Energy Rifle. Alright, let's go to Crusader. One of the biggest things with 3.0 I've found that you notice right off the bat is just getting out of bed. It's that simple. It's a lot more fluid. So the first thing we're going to do is check the prices of all the commodities that Port Olisar is buying. It's also important to note what you can sell at Port Olisar, because you don't want to go and buy something that you can't sell here if you don't want to make a longer trip to Yellow, Grimhex, Levski. So before I call my ship, I'm going to come right over here to the trading console. Select the ship that I'm going to be filling. Then I'm going to do a screenshot of all of the pricing. That way you can reference it later whenever you go to actually buy the said items. I started the day off with 20,000 AUEC. As you can see now I have 92,000 just strictly from doing this. This is how you would sell said items, but we'll take care of that part later. So you want to scroll down, make sure you get the whole list. Most important things to note are Laranite, Tungsten, Beryl, now that I've got my screenshots, it's time to go to my ship. The biggest thing I like about the Freelancer, and I think right now the Freelancer is probably one of the most cost-efficient ships you can have as far as pricing of the ships online and whatnot. You get quite a bit for your money. You have a ton of cargo space compared to the ships of its size, which means you can almost double or triple your money in each haul if you do it right. Diamonds are also a good commodity to keep track of. If Laranite's not available, or if it's selling at a high price at the mining facilities, and typically I'll go for another source as in gold or diamonds. You do want to make sure that you are geared up whenever you go to these places. Some of these places you can be shot and killed, or they can board your ship without you knowing it. So it is better to take precautions. First thing I'll do is when I get into my ship, go ahead and get in the flight seat, turn the ship on. Let's go ahead and get it flight ready. Now we're going to select a spot. My favorite spot right now, as far as time efficiency and whatnot, is Daymar. So once you find Daymar in your star map, go ahead and select it, make it your destination. Now you're ready for Quantum Drive. Make sure not to hit anything on the way out, could be devastating. One thing I've found for planetary traveling is by using the markers to get closer to your location. Now it's not going to be an exact science, but so for example, I want to go to Kudra Ore. So what I'm going to do is I know that it's on the other side of the planet from the distance that it's at. If it's around 400, you're probably on the same side of the planet. If it's on 800, your chances are you need to go to the other side of the planet. So we're going to use the OM6 marker. We're going to travel to that first, see where that puts us. Now we're going to find the next marker that goes over the location that we're trying to go to. So I'm trying to go to Kudra Ore. Okay, so I know that OM5 is about 700 kilometers away. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold F. I'm going to go down to my power, hover over stealth, hold B at the same time, so that way it begins spooling your drive. And then I'm going to hit stealth about halfway through. So that got me halfway to OM5. And now you can see I'm much closer to Kudra Ore. Another thing I like to do is take it as far as your nav map scale, keep it at that, because if you don't, the planet will interfere with your radar and you'll be able to see the planet, which kind of obscures your view of what you're trying to do. So now I'm going to orient myself. Now we just wait. 160 kilometers is way better than 400 or 300. You don't want to start going into the planet's atmosphere early on, otherwise it'll reduce your speed and it'll take a lot longer to get there. So we want to aim just a little bit outside the atmosphere. One of the exciting things that I've heard is that you can buy plots of land for the future of Star Citizen, possibly to put a hangar on or store supplies there until the price is right to sell them. That's pretty exciting. Another great thing is you might be able to start building on these said plots of land. I'm not sure exactly in detail what they're going to be doing as far as that. I also want to make sure to take myself out of stealth. Also, I want to turn my headlights on. One thing you can notice right now is I'm starting to enter the planet's atmosphere, showing my altitude. Your speed won't start decreasing until you get below about 10,000. Also, you don't want to be going that fast when you're in those areas because it's easy to crash onto the planet if you're going too fast. Right now I'm entering the planet's atmosphere. Again, you don't want to be going too fast when you get closer to the ground. Right now I'm still pretty high up. I'm also on the night side, so it's going to be very hard to see. You have to pay attention to your current altitude. Also, it doesn't account for mountains or valleys. So just because you're at sea level does not mean that you're above the terrain or below the terrain. Much like if you were flying around Earth. I really don't want to start slowing down just yet. I want to stay at this altitude just for a little bit until we get a little bit closer. Once we get about 10 kilometers out, I'll really start hitting the brakes, preparing for landing. I'm also going to adjust my trajectory just a little bit now that we're starting to get close. Again, it is very hard to see at night when you're on the night side of the planet. As you can see, my speed's starting to decrease. My max speed right now isn't going to be much. I am going to take it to max speed. It'll slowly decrease as I get closer. Now, Kudri Ore does not have a wide selection. It does look like somebody's here, so we do want to be careful and make sure that that person does not have ill intentions. So when we first get here, we're really going to want to scope this out. Right now, I'm going to go down to 0 power. First of all, I'm going to try to identify what kind of vessel it is, so I'm going to get a little bit closer. I want to see what kind of what I'm really dealing with here as far as the vessel that is here. Remember, where there is a vessel, there is a pilot. So you want to be conscious of where that pilot is. Also, this is not within comm area, nor is it within the armistice area. So you could really blow them up if I wanted to and get away with it. No repercussions. I would not even be claimed a pirate or anything in this area. So also that could be done to you. People could grief you. Once I get close enough to this person, I can see using my scanners what type of person it is. I also want to try to achieve maybe a missile lock ahead of time just in case. Right now I don't have any comms. From here it looks like it's a starfarer. For whatever reason, I'm not even able to pull them up on my targeting area. There we go. So this is a starfarer. We do need to be cautious of this person. I don't see the pilot, which is never a good sign. I do see a good place to land. So I do have a missile lock of this person, so if something were to happen, I could just start firing off missiles. I'm not really that type of person. Some people are though, again, so you gotta be cognizant of the fact that people are. This isn't a great place to land. I need to scoot over a little bit. Make sure to find a flat surface. Also, another good thing is to make sure that your landing gear's on. I still have yet to see the pilot, which is never a good sign. You want to make sure that you are firm on the ground before you do get out of the pilot seat. I'm going to go ahead and shut my engines off, leave the power on. This person's not in his ship. So we do need to be careful. Another thing to be cautious about is keeping track of which side the airlock is cycling once we do get up to this point. So that's probably not a good sign. It opened immediately. That means he is not inside this facility. So I'm going to go ahead and continue as usual. I'm going to assume that he is not hostile, which could be a bad assumption on my part. So we do need to be very careful and cautious while we're doing this mining run. I don't think that he is currently in here with me. So we select the ship we want it to go to. First thing I'm going to do is try to buy as much Laranite as possible. Laranite looks like it's pretty expensive right now as far as the price, so I'm not going to fill my ship with Laranite. I'm going to try to buy the cheaper stuff first. You're not going to have a greater profit margin on this. Okay. And I still have quite a bit of room to work with. About 40 SCUs worth. And it looks like there's really not much Laranite, so this guy must have cleaned this place out before I got here. Our next best option is going to be quartz. If I'm going to fill my ship. Okay, now my ship is completely filled. And I spent about half of my UEC. So now this is where it becomes pretty dangerous. Because I have a full haul in my hands, I just need to be really careful about what I'm doing here and just get out. Don't risk it. It looks like he's still here. His ship is not on that I know of. So I'm just going to sprint to my ship. He can't get in my ship. It is completely locked up. But I do want to make sure, just in case, that he was not able to. if you ever exit your ship via the back ramp, you want to make sure to make it's closed whenever you do exit your ship. As you can see, here's all my cargo stacked left and right. Also, you'll see that the inside of my ship is completely full. We'll do a quick round to make sure he's not in here. If I were to open this up, I would want to be really careful because that's how he could get in and then also kill me once it looks like now we're in a comm area, so as you can see with the icon on the top right of my screen, comm area means that you will become wanted in the event that you do blow up somebody's ship, which is not something you want because you will be attacked when you go to Port Olisar to sell all your commodities. So first thing we need to do is find Port Olisar. It's kind of hard to see on the screen that I'm in. Okay, now we just take off and get out. We want to try to orient ourselves towards Port Olisar, which is currently obstructed. And we just want to get out of the atmosphere as soon as possible. You don't necessarily want to take off straight vertically. You can, but you don't want to. You want to try to orient yourself towards where you need to go. I'm going back to Crusader, so Crusader is the planet that Port Olisar orbits around. This is something that's been happening to me quite often where it spawns me back at the place I last was after I've taken off. Sometimes I don't know what kind of bug that is, but it does happen. It's common. Once you get going again though, it seems to not happen multiple times. It only happens once. Kind of annoying, but as of right now it is an alpha. It's pre-alpha actually. Still giant steps towards the direction that we've always wanted to go with this game. Now it is quite possible that you could have pirate interdictions on the way to Port Olisar. Sometimes you will have to fight it out. You do have to be careful because you can lose all of your cargo. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Most commonly that happens between Port Olisar and Yella. Yella seems to be a place where pirates hang out and you will get hit by a pirate swarm. They are fairly easy to kill. That's why I equipped my ship so heavily in the event that that does happen. So it looks like on my radar Port Olisar is a place I can fast travel to. Now you'll know that you're running into some pirates if you go to use your quantum drive and it's real shaky. That's how you know that you're about to be into some trouble. Right now it looks like we're clear sailing. So I'm going to go ahead and come into Port Olisar. I'm going to reduce my speed. Deploy my landing gear. Right now I'm using the brakes. I'm going to reduce my power down to 0. I'm at a complete stop. So now I'm going to go down to comms. One thing you want to make sure you do is when you get to Port Olisar, you call in the landing services. Otherwise you will get a wanted level as well if you just land all willy-nilly. One thing that's been happening to me in the past is that even though you reduce your power to 0, you're still going at 50 kilometers. At a rate of 50 kilometers. The best way I found to stop that is by going to your landing spot, holding your space brakes, and then from there just holding in until you do auto land. Typically I like to use the auto land function. prevents any damage to your ship that could happen by trying to pilot your ship in. Some people are just better at it than I am. So to auto land, you just hold in once you're above the green area. It basically has to be touching your ship from what I've found in order to use auto land. Once you hold it and it initiates, you no longer have to hold it. It'll safely guide you down to your landing spot. You want to make sure the engines are off. Okay. We're almost done. Now we're in the safe area. You don't have to worry about getting pirates stealing our stuff. All of our cargo is intact. One thing I don't like about having heavy armor on like I do is that your stamina is greatly decreased. So you can't run around, but I'd rather be a bullet sponge and be slow than just be easily killed out in space. From what I found, guys, though, I don't know that I'd invest a whole bunch in buying ship parts. I think that is something that's going to be changing quite a bit in the near future, and it's hard to hold on to those ship parts. For whatever reason, they keep despawning, or I've already lost ship parts that cost me 30,000 UEC. Kind of irritated by that, but again, you can't be that irritated when you know it's an alpha. The best way I found to buy anything is on the website. As far as the weapons and missiles, that's probably the best thing to invest your UEC as far as on the internet, is by buying weapons for your ships, because that's going to be the most persistent. They're not going to go away if your ship blows up or something like that, whereas the ship components that you buy in game, they'll be gone. It's very easy to lose those parts, easy to lose your guns. I've lost guns already. So now we want to go and cash out. So first thing I'm going to start with, barrel. As expected, I'm not making huge gains off of that, but I did double my money on that. Layer Night, I bought it for about 50 there, selling it for 72. Now quartz is what I'm looking for here. It looks like I'm probably going to double my investment on quartz. So I started this with about 80,000 UEC, now I'm over 100, so I made about 20,000 there. Forgive me if the math is off, but that's roughly what I made. And that concludes today's cargo run. I will be posting more videos in regards to 3.0 in the near future, as far as space exploration, Yella, Levski, different things like that, buying gear, also buying ship components. So be looking forward to new videos in the near future. Also, don't forget to subscribe and follow. I appreciate everybody out there and all those star citizens that enjoy this game like I do. 22B Maverick out.